What's up, everybody? So, welcome to Seduce Me, Otome game. This is my first attempt on making a Let's Play video. I don't know much about these playthroughs, so this is just an awkward attempt on playing. I hope you guys enjoy. This fictional interactive narrative, any character resemblance to real life people are purely coincidental. Also, please know that following game is made for PG-16 audiences. Please know that sexual, violent themes are explored in this game. Trigger, warnings, abuse implied, rape, and suicide. You have been warned. Okay. Please enjoy.
Why, hello.
Oh.
My, aren't you a gorgeous sight? Can I be honored enough to know your name?
Sure. I don't have any idea of a name, but is that okay?
A lovely name for a lovely person like you. Wonderful.
Eric, do your job.
Very well. This game was
Oh,
produced
okay.
by Seraphim Entertainment under the direction of Michaela Laws and is powered by Renpai Visual Novel Engine. We truly hope you'll enjoy this story.
I hope so too.
I know I'll enjoy it since you'll be in it.
Oh, okay. I think I'll enjoy this too.
Eric,
Fine, fine. Farewell, my sweet.
Okay. Somewhere. What? Is that a gunshot?
Come on! Is that all you got?
Wanna try me, asshole?
Oh, that is so loud in my earphones.
Crap! Missed.
let's retreat for now.
No kidding. Let's get out of here.
That's right. You better run, you stupid punks! Stay out of our territory!
Call it fate or call it coincidence, that one moment of violence started a chain of events I will never forget.
This formula, created in the 70s, is one of the most important in the field of financial theory.
Are we in class? Is that rain?
It is used to calculate the price of European-style options and is widely used by option marketers, though there are some discrepancies that are now corrected with a modern viewpoint.
Rain. It's been a long time since we've gotten rain around here. But it is the season for rainy weather, so it's not exactly that surprising. Personally, I love the sound of rain. The way the raindrops fell, like the soft tapping of fingers. It was so soothing. Even looking at the droplets hit the glass of the window was strangely calming. For this reason, I felt lucky for having a seat next to the window, though I did spend more time staring outside than I did paying attention in class. The lectures in class were pretty boring. Mrs. Phillips' voice wasn't soporific, but I just wasn't interested in what she was saying. And since it was the period right before lunch, all I could think about was doing other things in my free time. Honestly, I didn't really care much for economics. Sure, I had good grades in this class, but it was only because I read the textbooks and did my assignments as I had to. I was only taking this class because it was mandatory. If it were up to me, I would probably have taken another course. Luckily, it was my senior year, so after the semester, it would mean the end of high school courses forever. Thank God for that. I didn't hate high school. It was just kind of mundane how the days drifted on as if there was no end to it. The only thing I really enjoyed about going to school was meeting my friends and hanging out with them. But that was kind of it. I think that is kind of it for most of students, I think, especially high school students. In short, I was done with high school. The start of second semester brought a note of finality to it. I had already applied to many universities the semester prior, and I was expecting apply sometime in the few months. It seemed like the start of something new, something that would change. If that is if things could change. I stared at the faint outline of raindrops in the distance. For now, I was stuck in this class.
Miss Anderson.
Oh. Mrs. Phillips' raised voice interrupted my train of thought. Just when I was thinking about class, I quickly turned my head to face the teacher. Hopefully she didn't pick me just because she noticed that I was spacing out. Yes, ma'am?
Would you care to name the equation I set up on the blackboard?
Oh, I think I read about that in the textbook last night. It should be the Black-Scholes model formula.
Very good as always, Miss Anderson.
Anderson. It followed me wherever I went. Most people didn't really know me by my first name, but rather by my surname. No doubt since the surname was the trademark of internationally famous and philanthropic Anderson Family Toys, and because the founder was my own grandfather. Suzu, one of my best friends, turned around and proudly gave me a punch to the shoulder.
Kick-ass girl.
Ooh. From beside me, I heard Naomi, another one of my best friends, clearing her throat in obvious disapproval of Suzu's choices of words.
She means good job.
Miss Capini.
Oi!
Care to tell me who the creators of this formula were?
Some guys named Black and Scholes. Fisher Black and Myron Scholes.
Very good, Miss Patterson.
Show off. Better study next time, Suzu. Be like us and study once in a while.
Suzu rolled her eyes and slouched into her chair as Naomi gave her a small smirk. She always pouted when Naomi showed her up.
That's the end of today's lecture. Now, let's separate into groups and work on your projects. Remember, everything is due on Monday. Go ahead now.
Before I knew it, Suzu and Naomi had scooted their desks to align with mine, and we turned into the Three Musketeers. Whenever the teacher let the students decide on groups, we always grouped together in our little trio. It was just a stroke of luck that we all managed to be in the same class, so we had to at least take the opportunity and stick together as much as we could. Besides, we were most comfortable around each other than, say, compared to being around any other classmate. It just made sense for us to put our heads together for any kind of project. I took out the poster we were working on and rolled it open into 3 desks. We were pretty much finished with fulfilling most of the guidelines for the project, though we did still have to add a few finishing touches here and there. After working on making the poster a bit prettier, we sat back and inspected our work to see what we still had to do. Naomi, as usual, was the first to look for any issues. She slightly tapped a pencil against her chin, staring intently at the project.
Alright, so let's see. We finished the budgeting section, the building leasing, and the cost for labor. What else do we need?
Susie straightened up to look at the poster and stroke her chin. After a few seconds of her face brightened, and she spoke up.
How about a company name?
What? Okay.
Huh? Did we really skip over that? Of course we did. You always go straight into the logical statistics and stuff that you completely skip over the fact. We need a name for our projects. At least we caught it this time. What do we name it? Not sure. What do you think?
It always came down to me. Whenever there was something to be named or titled, I was the master and ending decision, even when I didn't want to be.
I like Trinity Corporations. That is way too predictable. How about the Dragon Company?
That sounds majestic.
What do dragons have to do with our project?
What? It's a totally unpredictable name. It's hot.
I do like the sound of dragon, but since it's a company, Trinity sounds nice.
But our company sells bubblegum.
All in the more weird.
Who said we can't produce spicy bubblegum?
What do you think?
Yeah. What do you think?
Both of them looked at me expectantly. Even though I wasn't quite sure myself, I don't really want to choose sides. But if it were up to me, I would... I don't know. I like the name Bubble Pop. It sounds like candy. Can't you, like, make another option of names instead of choosing sides between them? Since it's bubblegum, I don't think dragon is good. But I like the sound of it, so I'll just go for Trinity.
Bah, fine. Be lame.
Sorry, Suzu. I like that sound of dragon though, but it's weird.
Alright, now that we've decided on a name, now what?
As we ended our name game, a giggle scrambled my thoughts. Who's Lizette? Huh? Who is that? Exactly my thought.
Ignore it. It's just Lisette.
I look over my shoulder to see her laughing with her circle of friends, mostly comprised of popular people that were practically friends with everyone in the school. And as a result, everyone in the school knows them. In the center of it all was Lizette White. She sat with a posture that indicated she was still working, but that she also was ready to casually chat about her day. She had an endearing blend of charismatic and awkward, which was readily apparent when she first talked to someone. It was easy to make her smile and laugh, and she was quite a comedian as well. Basically, she was perfect. Not that she was like a robot or something, but she was a student that everyone else wanted to be. Lizette was bright, easygoing, and above all, had her future laid out right in front of her. Unlike the average student, she knew what she wanted to do after high school, and as a result, she was confident and ambitious, though sometimes it could rub a lot of people the wrong way. Moreover, I had known her since I was young, but it had ultimately resulted in a rivalry that continued today. Is she like the snobby type of girl? Of course, my friends knew that was between us. Of course, my friends knew what was between us, and upon seeing me glance at her, they shifted their attention.
She doesn't even look like she's working, in my opinion.
She probably is, but she's too much of a stuck-up priss to allow herself to look like she's actually doing work.
Oh, come on, Suzu. She may be a little off-putting, but she's not the giant priss that you're making her seem to be.
The day she isn't a priss is the day I turn into you.
Oh, come on, Suzu.
What's that supposed to mean?
Never mind. It's about time! Let's bail!
Unsurprisingly, Suzu was the first out of the classroom, slinging her backpack over her shoulder with ease as she quickly strode out the door.
Her seat isn't even closest to the exit, and she always manages to be the first one out of the door. I don't think I'll ever understand that.
Me and you both, Naomi. She gave me a smile, as if relieved by the fact that I felt the same way as she did.
See? Why can't she just be normal like the two of us?
But without that kind of attitude, then the group would be boring. Don't you think, Naomi? It's Suzu, Naomi. Think about it.
Very true.
Man, you guys are slow. Are you coming or what?
Coming.
We heard you the first time. Not everyone has rocket boosters attached to their legs when the bell rings.
Are you kidding me? That class was ridiculously boring. Even Miss Valedictorian here was dozing off a bit.
I do have to admit I was spacing out, and just because I answered one question doesn't mean I'm automatically the valedictorian.
Okay, so it wasn't too interesting. But you should at least pay attention when Phillips is talking about the important parts.
So you finally admit it. We're finally on the same wavelength. Welcome to the club, Patterson.
Please, don't call me by my last name. This isn't the classroom. And never in a million years will we ever see things eye to eye.
Aww. Despite this, they both burst out in laughter. Normally, anyone would think that opposites like them wouldn't ever associate with each other. But even though they were so different, their friendship somehow made a lot of sense. Maybe they were just perfect complements, or personality just didn't dictate the possibility of their friendship. After all, we three had been best friends since preschool.
Alright, so where are we heading to first? Cafeteria? I think we can all agree that we're really hungry, especially after hearing about our company's line of deliciously spicy bubblegum.
I don't think that sounds like a good idea of a lunch.
Who would even buy that? I wonder.
Me? I would pay good money to get a taste of it.
You're weird, Suzu. Haha, you do like spicy food after all. We entered the cafeteria, a bustling room filled with aromas of different kinds of food. As we got in line, we ordered our meals and chatted freely.
Cajun fries and the spicy chicken burger for me. That's my definition of a good meal.
I'll take a tuna sandwich and some juice. You're probably going to need water or something to curb all that spicy flavor, Suzu.
I can't be tamed by the likes of that. If it's spicy, then it's gotta be all or nothing.
Right.
You're crazy!
Hell yeah, I'm crazy.
I think I'm getting a migraine.
I think I'll go with... I don't know. What's Naomi having? I'm not much of a fan of mac and cheese. I do want Cajun fries, but I don't really want spicy chicken burgers, so I'll go with Naomi. Oh, she's asking for tuna sandwich. A tuna sandwich sounds pretty good right now anyway. Once we got our food, we settled down at one of the empty tables, putting our backpacks aside to finally dig into the food. Suzu leaned back in her chair, tilting it back so that she could rest her feet on the table by her foot. Oh, come on, Suzu! Feet off the table, please.
Alright then, is there anything we want to talk about?
Bored already?
I know, let's talk about...
Say boys, and I will never speak to you ever again.
Oh, come on, Suzu.
Aw, why not?
What's so interesting about talking about guys? It's not like any of us are gonna get boyfriends anytime soon.
Why? You all look interesting to me.
We don't know that. What if one of us does get a boyfriend?
Like that's going to happen, Naomi. Look at us. I'm a tiny Italian. You're a ditzy blonde.
What?
Hey!
No offense. And Anderson here. Well, I guess she could land a boyfriend or girlfriend if she wants.
What?
Or girlfriend?
Okay.
She can be a lesbian if she wants.
I'm not the type of person, apparently. So, I guess no thank you.
True.
Naomi, you can't decide for me. That's okay, Suzu. I'm not sure I want a boyfriend yet.
Why not? It's our senior year. Might as well get a boyfriend.
Maybe she's just not interested in a relationship, Suzu.
Well, It really wasn't about wanting a relationship, but more of there was no one interesting enough to be in a relationship with. Don't get me wrong, I'm an open person, but there were not many interesting guys in the school to go out with. Who knows? Time will tell. Naomi looked at me, wanting to continue the conversation. However, before she could speak, the speakers in the cafe started up, and an announcement echoed through the cafeteria.
Miss Anderson, please come to the main office immediately. Please bring your things with you.
What happened?
Oh my.
Looks like our plans have been cut short. The men in white coats have finally come to get you.
Oh, come on, Suzu, don't scare the main character, or me, or whatever.
Suzu, don't joke around. What if it's serious?
Ah, fine. If something happens, just call us.
Oh, okay, thank you for being sweet. Funny enough, something did happen. And it was certainly no laughing matter. Cold. It was really cold. Oh, it was thunder. The rain became heavier that afternoon, accompanied by rolling thunder now and then. The skies had turned dark, though I couldn't see any of it under the black umbrella. Did somebody die? Not that I was looking up. In fact, looking up was the exact opposite of what I wanted to do. I stared at the grass beneath my feet, unable to look up at the people weeping around me. All I could see was the damp grass underneath my feet. Only the monotone eulogies that floated through my ears reminded me that I was at a funeral. It was only when the speeches ended that I finally was able to raise my head. A small gathering of people A small gathering of people, mostly made of relatives that I didn't even know were related to me, were huddled around a simple, small grave. Harold Anderson. For a while, all I heard was the sound of raindrops on umbrellas. If it weren't raining, everything would probably be in a heavy silence. I looked beside me where my father was standing and holding up a large black umbrella for our small family of three. His face was emotionless, a strange sight next to my weeping mother. I wondered what was going through his mind. After all, etched into the smooth grey tombstone before us was his father's name. My grandfather, the one who raised me like I was his own daughter, had passed away that day. The ceremony was small, only close family were allowed to come. Slowly, though, people began to leave, leaving my father, mother, and me behind the grave. A man dressed in a clean black suit under the uniform black umbrella of the funeral attendees walked towards us, introducing himself as grandfather's lawyer. He pulled out a few documents from his suitcase and began to read aloud its contents.
And now, I shall read Harold Anderson's last will and testament.
My nose is very itchy. Only my parents and I were allowed to be present for my grandfather's will. It was under the strict request of his lawyer, and there was a reason why.
And to my dearest granddaughter, I give my estate.
What?
All the furniture and decor that resides within the house shall also be given to my granddaughter.
I was busy scratching my nose, and I was closing my eyes. Whoa, an estate? What? I couldn't believe my ears. I had earned the family estate at 11? At 18? That was impossible, and yet it was written by my own grandfather's hand. Sorry.
He passed the family estate to her? Why am I not surprised?
Daddy, I'm kind of, I'm kind of weirded out by your tone right now.
Dear.
Well, did he say anything about what will become of the CEO and chairman position of the Anderson Toys Company?
No. It is presumed that the vice chairman will succeed the position.
Even to the bitter end, he wouldn't give in. Oh, what a stubborn old man.
Looks like Daddy and Granddaddy didn't really have a good relationship. Shaking his head, my father turned to face my mother with a serious expression on his face.
About the estate. Should we send her there to get used to the building? It'll be a good place for her to live after high school.
Daddy, are you kicking me out of the house? I mean, your house?
Are you sure we should?
Why not? This would be a good experience for her.
Honey, what do you think?
Thoughts. I really wasn't sure what to say. Why did my grandfather think that I was the appropriate heir to the mansion? Was I even ready to live in my own?
Well, that seems to be it. We'll be taking our leave now. I'm sure the little heiress needs some time to adjust.
Daddy!
David!
See, Mom gets it. Even though she raised her voice, my dad wordlessly began walking back to the car, disinterested.
Don't mind him, honey. I think that your grandfather's passing really affected him. Why don't we get back home for now?
You can go on ahead to the car, Mom. I think I need some time alone with Grandpa.
Oh, of course. Take all the time you need.
Thanks, Mom. She gave me a quick hug and hurried after my dad. I look around the funeral grounds, which was completely empty, save the sullen-looking grave that was laid in front of me. I'm sure that if Grandpa were in charge of arranging all of this, it would have been much different. It was blatantly obvious that my dad was in charge of the whole event. Who else would bury their own family the same day they pass away? Everyone knew my grandfather's love for toys, and yet the grave was a mere, whatever, stone slab on the ground, void of any children's toys. My dad didn't even bother putting flowers. His disdain for my grandfather was almost pitiful. Sorry, Grandpa. I tried to force out some words, but the only thing that came out was a choked sob. You told me to stay strong, but right now, I'm the farthest from it. Like that one time, a long time ago. Grandpa!
Oh, it's so good to see you again, sweetie.
I was swept into a giant bear hug, and we both laughed as he swung me around like an airplane. It was one of my favorite things about seeing my grandfather. The way he greeted me, unlike my father, my grandfather was loving and playful, even as I grew older. Sorry that Daddy couldn't be here today. He said that he wasn't feeling too good again. It had always been like that. Dad missed every visit to Grandpa's house, citing that he was busy with work or wasn't feeling well.
Is that so? Well, that's okay. Daddy can come around next time. And you're here, right?
Yeah. So, what are we doing today, Grandpa? Mommy says that there's a new dessert cafe open in town. Maybe we could go?
Oh, I would love to. But I've been so busy with the company these days. We're actually working on a little something. Would you like to see?
Yeah, I do. Yes. Oh, is that a toy?
It is. I was designing a new line of them. But I feel like something's missing. You don't think you could help me out, could you?
Sure. Of course. love good music. He placed the toy in my hands with a smile, and I inspected it carefully. It was beautifully crafted, and obviously a lot of work was put into it. There was one thing though.
So, what do you think?
I think the heart on its chest should light up when you hug it. It'll be like it's alive. And it can be like a little nightlight before you sleep. He stroked his chin, considering my input while nodding his head. After a few moments of silent deliberation, he turned to me with a chuckle.
That's a great idea! I'll get to changing it right away. You're always like my little lucky charm, dear. You always know what to add to make the perfect toy.
Aw, Granddaddy is so sweet. Well, I hope I can be like you one day, Grandpa.
You want to make toys as well?
Well, making people happy is the best feeling in the world. I don't know if I want to make toys when I grow up, though.
Don't worry too much about it. You have plenty of time to decide. Besides, you should do what makes you happy as well.
That makes sense. Daddy doesn't think of the same way, though.
Your father. I'm sure he just wants the best for you.
I'm not so sure about that.
Sweetie, look at me.
He bent down to look at me eye level, with a serious look on his face.
As much as your father may say something that doesn't make sense now, you must remember that he's always thinking about you. He loves you. There's no doubt about that. And you need to love him just as equally.
Oh, this is so sad. Almost as if this granddaddy over here is like a real person. Oh gosh. I think I'm gonna cry. I don't hate Daddy. I really do love him. I don't know why he's like this though.
Your father and I have had some difficulties with each other in the past. But it's nothing that you should be concerned about.
Can I throw my arms around Granddaddy, please? Oh, I want to hug him so bad. I had heard tidbits of this from my mother and various other people. The only people who had stayed quiet were my father and grandfather. Both of them refrained from saying a word on the subject matter, but it was clear that whatever happened set up a wall between them. It's hard though, trying to pretend as if nothing were wrong.
However, no matter what, you have to stay strong. You're a big girl already, and, well, there'll come a day when it seems like it's you against the world. But always remember that your family and friends will be here with you.
Granddaddy, you're so sweet. It's so sad that you have to die.
Daddy, Mommy, your friends at school, me. We'll stand together to get through it.
Oh no, I'm so badly. How can you be sure of that?
Because we'll be right here and here.
He pointed his finger to my head first, and then pointed at my chest.
So stay strong, promise?
Granddaddy. For a moment, he looked almost sad, pleading. But as quickly as it had come, the expression disappeared from his face, and he was all smiles once again. Promise. Upon hearing that, Grandpa let out a great burst of laughter and stood up.
All right then, enough of that. How about I whip up some special homemade dessert?
Ooh, dessert?
I know it can't accompany you at that new cafe, but we sure can talk and eat while I cook and do some paperwork.
Homemade dessert? I'll race you to the kitchen.
Hey, slow down there. I'm not what I used to be.
You will be the very home I love to see you in. Why? Why would you think I would be ready to take it, especially after this? A surge of anger bubbled within me, but I quickly swallowed it. There was no use in getting mad, especially when the person in question was no longer there. I'm sorry. It's hard to stay calm when you've left me with so many questions, especially about what happened between you and Dad. What am I doing talking to a grave? My vision blurred and I suddenly realized that I was crying. My face heated up as tears rolled down my cheeks. I'll bring you some flowers later. I miss you, Grandpa. I'll try my best to fulfill my promise I gave to you, even if the world might be turned against me. I left the grave wiping my tears hastily so my parents wouldn't see.
Well, it's time to head back home. I'll cook up your favorite lasagna when we get home, okay?
Thanks, Mom. However, my dad didn't speak the entire drive home. I wanted to talk to him, but after his moment at the funeral, I wasn't sure if that was a good idea.
It's about time we took off those dreary black clothes.
Daddy. Gathering my courage, I decided then that it was time to talk. Dad, could I ask you something?
Go ahead.
Why do you want me to move into the estate so soon?
I thought I made that rather clear. The college near your grandfather's house is well known for its business program. You are planning to major in business, yes?
I am annoyed by your tone, Daddy. That's...
Right after you graduate from high school, you'll just live there and can easily commute to and from school. It's a perfect fit for you.
But it's so sudden. You just decided so quickly right after the funeral.
Don't be so sensitive. If you're like that in the real world, you'll be crushed.
God damn, Daddy. I'm sorry. I'm just saying that maybe we could talk a bit more about my future. In reply, my father rubbed his temples and sighed quietly.
After you graduate from college, you'll work at Anderson Family Toys. I have connections since I am part of the board of directors, so you will be guaranteed a spot. That is what we talked about before, yes?
God damn, Daddy. But what if...
Stop mumbling!
I am starting to get really annoyed with his tone. But what if I don't want to work there?
Don't be silly. It's the family company. Our company. I'm not just going to hand it over to some incompetent vice chairman.
Oh my God. Oh boy. He came closer to me, and his face softened.
Look, this is all for the best, okay? You may not know it right now, but you will appreciate it later.
For some reason, when I heard him say that, something snapped in me. I wasn't exactly sure what it was, but it made me feel so angry. Do you even care that grandfather passed away?
Of course I do.
Well, everything seems fine and dandy to you. Things couldn't be better.
Excuse me? I don't like your tone, young lady.
It's like nothing even happened at all. Like you just ignored the fact that he's no longer here.
Do not raise your voice at me.
What did he ever do to you to deserve this? My father raised his face, hardened, crossed his arms, and erupted in angry laughter.
Ha! You sure place him upon a pedestal, like he's some kind of venerated god or something. It makes me sick.
God damn, Daddy, that's your own father. Is that it? Are you happy seeing grandfather dead? While everyone was grieving, were you holding yourself back from laughing in everyone's faces? Did you feel just a bit happier seeing him lie in the graveyard? Ooh, you did not just do that, Daddy. Oh no, you didn't. A flash of rage crossed his face, and he whipped the back of his hand across my cheek.
You don't know anything! running your mouth like somehow you know everything that went on, when you're just a little girl that doesn't know how to keep her mouth shut.
Then if I'm a little girl, why'd you send me away?
You did not know my father. You did not know what he was capable of.
Whatever.
Is everything all right? What happened?
Nothing. I'm not hungry. I think I'll just go upstairs.
Honey, wait!
I quickly turned and ran up the stairs to my room, slamming the door behind me. My breath came in short pants, and for a while I just leaned against the door to my bedroom, eventually sliding down to sit against it. How did things become like this? My cheeks still throbbed, and I tentatively stood up and looked at the mirror to see how it looked. Hopefully it doesn't bruise. What am I saying? Tears from in the corners of my eyes, but formed. Sorry. But I blinked them back rapidly. I couldn't cry for the second time today. I had to be stronger than that.
Are you all right? Your father told me nothing happened, but you know your father.
I'm fine. I just lost my appetite.
The lasagna's done, though, and I don't want you skipping any meals. Are you sure?
Yeah, don't worry about me, Mom. I'll come downstairs later to eat.
You're not telling me the whole story.
I'm sorry, Mom. I just don't want to eat right now.
Please, dear. Tell me what's going on. I wish you would tell me why you're being like this.
Thoughts. I wanted to tell her. A part of me was screaming to tell her that Dad had done what Dad had done. At the same time, I know she couldn't fix anything. Besides, I was moving out regardless. I remained silent, letting the event remain in the past.
Well, I'll leave your food on the table if you want to eat it later.
Thanks, Mom. For understanding, that is. Finally, my mom left me alone. It was strange to think that she was only a few inches away from me, only separated by a single wooden door. I really didn't know what to do. I needed to do something, anything, to get my mind off what just happened. Anything would be better than thinking any more about the pain still radiating from my cheek. I was going to move into my grandfather's house tomorrow. I should probably pack my stuff so I will be prepared for tomorrow. Yeah, that was a good idea. I should start packing. I opened the closet, rummaging around for a while before I finally found 2 large bags, pulling them onto the floor of my room. Then I began to empty my drawers and cabinets so that I could bring all my things with me. I didn't have much to bring, other than just clothes and some toiletries. It was kind of bizarre that I didn't have many personal belongings. I don't have much of a personal belonging either. I mean, I share my room with 2 of my other sisters. I think most of the things inside there are my sisters. Sorry. It wasn't like my luggage was completely devoid of them, but I certainly didn't have many things in my room that I would miss if I just suddenly left the house. I shook my head to rid myself of those thoughts. If it were going to be my new home, it would have to feel like it. One way or another, I was going to make it a home.
You turn the tables on me now, you drop me in your case somehow. I can never escape from you.
Just as I was packing my
That's
things, I was
alright.
thinking of the ringing and vibrating in my pocket. I thought something happened. I slid my phone out of my pocket and answered it while slowly easing myself onto my bed. Who could possibly be calling?
Hey, Anderson, you there?
Oh, hi, Suzu.
Is everything alright? We were worried about you, so we decided to call.
Aw, how sweet of you too. That's...
Hello?
I'm really glad you guys called. My voice managed to come out, though it was only a whisper.
What happened? Are you okay?
Oh... I slowly began to tell them about the funeral that afternoon. A small silence followed when I was done recounting what happened, and to my relief, Naomi finally spoke up.
I can't begin to imagine how you must be feeling right now. I'm so sorry. Do you want us to come over right now?
No, it's okay. My dad isn't in a good mood, so could we just keep talking on the phone like this?
Of course! We'd stay on the phone until the crack of dawn, right, Suzu?
Aw, what great friends.
Yeah, we're always here if you need us. After all, we wouldn't be the awesome triple threat trio without you, right?
Oh, that's an awesome name. Yeah.
Triple threat trio? That sounds like the name of a gang.
It doesn't. Oh, it does, somehow. But it's awesome.
Yeah, I mean, we're all taking on the world together. We've got to sound somewhat scary, or else no one's going to take us seriously.
What's with you and naming things?
You've got to step up your game, Naomi. Falling behind to the cool kids like Anderson and me.
Hey! I'm a cool kid! If anything, I'd say you'd have to step up your game!
They are so cute. We chatted cheerfully about all sorts of things. Very soon I had forgotten about the events that day and was engaged in a conversation about Naomi's favorite TV show, some program called Herlock. Yeah, right. We all agreed that actor playing the titular character certainly had a very distinctive look about him, with that long overcoat and scarf wrapped around his neck. We had many disagreements about who we thought was the coolest character. Haha, yeah, he has really high cheekbones, and his eyes are pretty, though I do have to say I prefer Jackson, and as a bonus, his actor is just so sassy. I looked at the clock hanging on the wall and realized how late it was. Whoa, it's already 1 a.m. Sorry for keeping you guys up so late. I think I'm gonna hit the hay for tonight. See you guys at school tomorrow. I should probably shower and go to bed. I can't believe I stayed up this late just to talk to my friends. But it was really nice. Well, to the bathroom I go. I guess I'm stopping here.